Anne Frank, a German Jewish girl, hid with her family for 2 years in a secret annex during the Nazi occupation of the Netherlands. Her family was found and arrested, and she later died in a concentration camp in 1945. Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl, which records her experiences, was first published in English in 1952. Anne Frank exemplifies a young woman who displayed tremendous courage and determination, loved books and writing, and created a lasting piece of literature. Through a generous gift of an anonymous donor in February 2011, our library will be known as the Anne Frank Library, with the hope that the memory of her brave spirit and love of literature will inspire our students to face adversity with thoughtful perseverance. Anne said, "In the long run, the sharpest weapon of all is a kind and gentle spirit."
Indira Gandhi, daughter of India's first Prime Minister, Kamala Nehru, became the first woman Prime Minister of India in 1966. Her goal was to abolish poverty in India. She led India to one of the fastest growing economies in the world. In 1971, India sent its first satellite into space and won a war against Pakistan. In 1984, Gandhi was assassinated by her Sikh bodyguards to avenge the storming of the Golden Temple in Amritsar that she had ordered in response to terroristic activity. Indira Gandhi said, "One cannot shake hands with a clenched fist."
Jesmond West, who lived from 1903 to 1984, is considered one of America's literary treasures. She wrote novels, screenplays, poetry, essays, memoirs, and short stories. She earned a doctorate in English literature at the University of California, as well as 9 honorary doctorates in humane letters and literature. She is herself the subject of an analytical biography. Her stories continue to appear in over 100 anthologies. Jesmond West said, "Fiction reveals truths that reality obscures."
Literature is my utopia. Helen Keller, 1880 to 1968. Born in rural Alabama, Helen lost her ability to see, hear, and speak when she was 19 months old. Until she was 7 years old, she was considered hopeless. Fortunately, Anne Sullivan was hired to tutor her, and Helen learned to communicate. Helen and Anne became world famous and were immortalized in the play and film The Miracle Worker, which depicted their amazing relationship. Helen graduated from Radcliffe University and lived her life with brilliance, passion, and success.
Barbara Tuchman was a prolific writer, best known for her 2 Pulitzer Prize-winning books, The Guns of August and Stilwell and the American Experience in China. Her subjects vary from the Trojan War to the Vietnam War, from descriptions of medieval daily life to portraits of world leaders of the First World War. Her history books are so appealing because of their narrative power and her portrayals of historical characters as believable human beings. Barbara Tuchman said, "Without books, history is silent, literature dumb, science crippled, thought and speculation at a standstill."
John Adams was the 2nd President of the United States. The U.S. government moved from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C. during his term, and he was the first president to live in the White House. Adams played a leading role in the adoption of the Declaration of Independence. In 1764, Adams married Abigail Smith, and theirs proved to be a long and happy union. Much of their correspondence survives and is considered to be invaluable to historians and romantics alike. Adams said, "Liberty cannot be preserved without a general knowledge among people."
Abigail Adams, 1744 to 1818. Abigail Smith was the wife of John Adams, our second president. She was from a rural town in Massachusetts and had no formal schooling. She was a self-educated scholar who often used her influence as First Lady to champion women's rights for a voice in government as well as education. Her feelings about racial discrimination were also very strong. She believed that slavery was wholly evil and fought hard for civil rights of freed slaves, especially with regard to education. If we mean to have heroes, statesmen, and philosophers, we should have learned women.
Marie Curie was born in Warsaw, Poland. Her father was a math and physics teacher, and her mother was the principal of a private girls' boarding school. In 1893, she passed her examination with honors for the licensure in physics at the Sorbonne, ranking second in her class. Her doctoral research led to her discovery of radioactivity. Her husband, Pierre, shares in her glory, having assisted in her research. In 1903, they won the Nobel Prize in Physics. Marie Curie was the first woman to win the Nobel Prize and the first woman teacher at the Sorbonne. Curie said, "Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood."
Françoise Sagan. Françoise Sagan wrote her first novel, Bonjour Tristesse, when she was 18. The story concerns a very rebellious, manipulative teenage girl who is trying to ruin the relationships between her father and his various girlfriends. This novel has become something of a cult classic because it captures so poignantly the emergence of teenagers as a social group with interests and passions wholly separate from their parents. Two other titles by Sagan are A Certain Smile and La Chamade. Françoise Sagan said, "Art must take reality by surprise."